What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video where we have just been notified of some developer notes all about the Red Horizon PTS that happened last week. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Let's get straight into it and see what they've said. Just before we get into it, I wanted to show you my website, DJTICKLE.com. It's got a DPS calculator on here as well, which I'm going to make a video of its own. But it's also got weapon tables. And if any of you used to watch IKEA, he used to have a spreadsheet that's now old and out of date because he's not been playing. Essentially, this is the same thing, but on a website where you've got filters and you can kind of see things a little bit easier. So for instance, if you wanted to look at assault rifles, you will get the list here. You can choose burst or sustain DPS, but it does highlight in orange which is the best burst and sustain assault rifle in its class. It doesn't take into effect talents. That's something for the calculator side of things. You can do all kinds of things though. You can choose just standard if you wanted to. So you can take the exotics out. You can take the magazine out because it has got the option to have the best magazine in its slot in there if you wanted to look at it. And as you can see here now at the top, the burst DPS for the F2000 comes out on top, whereas the AUG A3 CQC is the best in sustain. There's a lot of options here. You can select multiple if you want to. You can select exotic and have a look at everything, but check that out on DJTICKLE.com. All right, so not a very long one. It starts off at an 8-minute read. And the first thing is all about determined and marksman rifles. And that's to be expected, to be perfectly honest, because that really was the big talking point of the weekend. Determined was one of the most discussed changes during the PTS, and the feedback around it was divided. Some of you supported the change and wanted to see more options for MMR builds, while others asked us to leave it as it is. And that's always going to happen, right? There's always going to be some people on each side of the fence. One of our main reasons we wanted to make this change is the interaction between the current version of Determined and Headhunter. Once Determined is active, a body shot converted into a headshot can trigger Determined again if it killed an enemy. Combined with Headhunter, this allowed to chain to continue after the initial headshot kill. This also leaves us with less room to improve MMRs and any related gear, because increasing their damage can make that Determined plus Headhunter setup even stronger. Another reason, and one that is just as important, is the work we are doing on the endgame beyond Red Horizon, so something coming after this coming season. We have more additions planned for you, and part of preparing for that means addressing some of the balance issues and meta outliers that can limit what we can do. Determined is one of those cases. That's why, after reviewing the feedback, we have decided to move forward with the change to Determined. Doing this now gives us freedom to add and improve things in the future for everyone. With the final version, Determined will function like Perfect Determined, meaning a converted headshot kill will no longer re-trigger the talent. But the current chaining functionality is not disappearing completely. It's moving to the Iron Will chest, freeing up the weapon talent slot so you can use it with exotic MMRs, high-end MMRs with different talents, and pistols like the Regulus and the Harvest, which I think is what most people tested with, including myself. We've also heard the feedback from those who rely on Determined because MMRs can feel difficult to use without it. This is something we want to address as well. We are looking into a handling pass for marksman rifles and rifles to make them feel better to use, although we do not have a timeline to share for that. That's pretty interesting as well. The upcoming Red Horizon season will also include buffs to MMR related gear sets and brands, including Hotshot, Aces and Eights, as well as increases to MMR damage bonuses on brand sets. We want to give marksman rifle builds more options rather than having so much of their strength tied to one talent combination. This was one of the harder decisions coming out of the PTS, and we know not everyone will agree with it. After reviewing the feedback and looking at where we want to take the game next, we believe this is the right decision to make. We still want to thank everyone who took the time to explain what Determined means to their builds and how they use it. So yeah, so Determined is in, but there's a whole bunch of other changes here. A lot of feedback around the gear and weapons focused on some of the new options not feeling strong enough in practice. That was including myself. Here are the changes that we've made based on the feedback. So boiling point has been changed now. Holy smokes. The portion of the magazine with minus 100% critical hit chance has been reduced from 80 to 53. The perfect version 48. So we definitely need to do some math modelling on this. Ember engine has been upped in application chance from 20 to 40. And the flashpoint increases that to 60. The Fafnir. So the chance to apply burn's been up to 40%. And that's per pellet. Weapon damage scaling from the status effect bonuses have increased from 30 to 50. That is definitely interesting. The iron will's been changed to 2 seconds from 1 in PvE, 2 to 3 in PvP, so still very short. The incinerator turret, the base cooldown has been reduced from 60 to 30. Okay. Araldi's 2-piece bonus has been increased from 13 to 26. The Gruppo headshot damage bonus has been increased from 13 to 39. Headshot buff. Murakami's been reverted. So the 2-piece bonus has been reverted to 35 and the 3-piece back to 18% skill damage. We saw a lot of feedback during the test that the pressure gauge and how quickly it decayed compared to how long it could take to build. We also saw that keeping the gauge up felt harder in group play. So the pressure gauge decay has been made less aggressive. Some actions build pressure have been buffed. A new group kill action has been added. You will now gain 1% pressure whenever another player in your group gets a kill. Nice. The Achilles heel pressure gauge loss from breaking an armor piece or weak point has been reduced from 10 to 5. Draining presence has been reduced from 7 to 5. Interesting. Active modifiers. So the fiery aura, armor regen percentage based ranging from 0.5 to 1.5 armor per second. At level 5, the damage resistant while sprinting can now hit 100%. The burn duration has been increased. At level 5, armor regen per unique enemy burned has been increased to 15%. Vicarious combustion. The headshot effect has been doubled. The burn damage penalty has been reduced to 50 to 10% from 50 to 25. The burn duration has been slightly reduced and the cooldown of the level 5 effect has been reduced. Signed, shield delivered. It's hard to get out my mouth. Shield health and active regen have been increased. So yeah, so that should make it easier because that was kind of the most feedback that we had, that was actually really difficult to even have on. So hopefully that will make things easier. The blackout enemies were going down a little too easy. We've taken the feedback personally and will toughen in the season release. I didn't see that anywhere, but prototype gear and weapon drop rates have also been adjusted. 0.2% for normal enemies, 0.5% for elite, and 1% from bosses. They also added Ortiz, Caduceus, and Nurse's knee pad to the special PvP Dark Zone loot pool. They've made some more PvP balance changes. And they've heard the concerns around Bloodsucker, Unbreakable, Protected Reload, and Adrenaline Rush. They've all received adjustments for the PvP players. And in the stat display, starting with Red Horizon, your inventory will show your PvP weapon damage directly below the PvE value. Nice, you don't have to do the switching. You will also be able to check your PvP normalization stats and PvP balance overrides in the shooting range. So yeah, I think that's been pushed in the right direction. Definitely interested to try it all out. I can't wait for this season to come now. No release date for the season yet, but it can't be far away. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and look forward to more deep dives here on the channel. See you in the next one, agents. Bye bye.